Hello everyone, this is Melanie from Melanie B's Creative Studio, and what do I have in front of me? I am excited to share with you all the items that you see, and these are what's in store at Melanie B's Creative Supplies. You guys may remember a few months ago, my daughter Ashlyn launched a new website called Melanie B's Creative Supplies, and the items that she carries are the things that I consider to be must-have tools for paint by numbers. Well, you know, eventually she wanted to add the diamond painting tools and things like that. So, you know, over time, of course, every little small shop wants to expand, and so those things are going to be slowly added as well. I wanted to show you some of the things that have been added recently that you may not have seen, because I haven't brought to you these items on YouTube, because every time they come in, they sell out. If I introduce these on my Facebook group, then immediately she sells out on the website. And so I have not come to you and said, hey, look, you know, Ashlyn has added these items to the website, you know, because if I bring them to you and you go to shop and they're sold out, then that is nothing but frustration. So now that she has a little bit of inventory, I thought this is a good time for me to introduce you to these items. Now, some of these items are so brand new that they've never been put on the group, or they've just recently been put on the group, and like a couple of these things nobody's ever seen before. So I wanted to introduce you to them. Let's do that today. So first, over here, I'm going to talk about these rinse cups. Now, these are the little flower pot type that you've seen me talk about in the past. They pop out and they flatten. But the difference between these and the ones I've shown you in the past are that these are no particular brand, and they are pastel. So they're super cute, and they're different than any that you can find other places. So we have a pastel pink and we have a pastel blue. These are more affordable than the ones you have seen, and so they're definitely worth looking into. Same exact quality. They're very sturdy. Once you get your water in these, they don't flip. The circumference in the bottom is perfect for like a paint puck, and you can lay your paintbrush across the top when you're working, because you guys know, first rule ever is to never leave your paintbrush in water, and I mean for a split second. They fold flat for travel. I love these. These square ones, I call these a rounded square, but these are a little larger. You can see I have water in them because I'm about to do some demonstration videos, so I already have water in these. I'm going to pour the water into this one cup. Ooh, that was close. Just so I can show you how this collapses as well. These have a couple extra features that I love and that I want to share with you. So these are silicone and plastic, and you'll notice I'm going to collapse this one. It's going to make me wet. I'm going to do it gently. It has the little brush cleaner on the bottom, which I love. And I'm going to tell you what I love about this. Because detail brushes are fragile little things, right? I love the fact that this is a gentle cleaner. A paint puck is a wonderful tool, and you guys know I love them. But paint pucks are kind of designed for all different sizes of brushes, and they're kind of rough. I mean, they've got the big nodules. So I like a little dainty brush cleaner, and I think this one's fabulous. So when I'm cleaning these brushes, which we're going to talk about because these are super special brushes, when I'm cleaning, let me just go ahead and do it in this one. I can gently rub this on the bottom, and it's going to clean my bristles without being too rough on my bristles. So I love that feature, and it's built in. I love the fact that it folds compactly, and they're beautiful colors. And it also has the feature where I can lay, let's pop it back out, the paintbrush across the top while I'm working. Now this one will also hold 2 of my paintbrushes and the holes here, and it will also hold 2 smaller brushes on each side. So that's a nice feature as well. In addition, these when they're folded flat, you can flip it, and on the back is a little mixing palette. If you like to do watercolor or anything like that, you can use this side as a little mixing palette. So that is a neat feature as well. For those of you who follow my videos, you probably know that I always have 2 rinse cups at all times. So for me, I liked the fact that we have one of each color available, so that for you guys who like to have 2 different cups, you have the option of having one of each, one for a rinse cup and then one for just, you know, clean water to finalize the cleaning process of your brushes. So that's just kind of just an option. Now here you'll notice I have my 2 dirty little stirring sticks. Well, I've had the stainless steel stirring stick for a while, and I've had this one. This one is, let me kind of separate these so you can see them a little bit better. This one, you can tell, has got paint on it. I haven't, I left this one in some dirty water. So the beauty of these are, because they're stainless, they clean right off. So I love that I can leave these in my water and I don't worry about rusting or any of that kind of thing. And that is for me because, you know, I'm a lazy person in some respects and I'm tired. I'm tired all the time. So little things like this are lifesavers to me because they save me time when I don't want to spend time on certain things. So this one has a flat side with the rectangle, and then it's got the flat side with the point. This one has got a smooth barrel here, and the length of it is very similar. And I'm going to pull out one that I don't have yet that I really would like to have eventually. And this is the little Tamiya one that we've talked about in the past. Let me hold it here. You can see the length is the same. This is the one with the little mini spoon on it. And I realized I don't use the mini spoon much because I lose some paint in there. So I chose this one for Ashlyn to carry in the store because I liked the flat end on both sides, because I can use it to wipe off the paint on the side of the paint pot and I'm not losing paint. I can also use the point in the corners and in the edges of the paint pot, and I can pull out that excess paint and not lose paint in the paint pot corners. So these are the same length, but this one's a little heavier. That's a pretty good bit heavier, but it's got some features that I liked about it. So that's why I have this one. And this one is a brand new option that I chose because, let me compare these two, is a little bit longer, and the length to me didn't really have as much to do with why I selected it, but I like the fact that it had this nice textured grip to it, and it had a point. So again, when you're trying to scoop out the left over paint in your paint pot, you can get down in there and get whatever you need. So this one also has a rounded and smooth end on it that is nice for mixing and stirring paint. And then when you're, you know, cleaning off your paint pot, you're able to get off the excess. And same with this side. So you have these 2 options. Now, for me personally, I have all 3 stainless steel stir sticks in my rinse cup at all times, because depending on what I'm doing, I'm using all 3. So, you know, that's just me. You don't have to feel like you have to get them all, but that's just one of those things. I use them for different purposes, so I have them all. These are really fun, and I haven't had a chance to use them. They are brand spanking new. I have been so excited about having these right here, and I'm gonna be using these today in a video for you guys. So I'm going to explain what they are, and then in a little bit I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to use these. But these are called stainless steel mixing palettes or blending palettes. So I'm super excited about these. So the stainless steel palettes are heavy duty. What makes them beautiful for blending your acrylic paint is easy cleanup. And they do come with a different type of stainless steel stirring stick, which I thought was fabulous. It also comes with a little case for storage, so that if you're traveling somewhere, you put your components back in here, you take it with you, you know, and you're ready to go. Even if you don't travel, I'm a believer of keeping things stored together, so when I go to find it, I've got it, you know, all the pieces put together. I'm going to show you the color options really quickly, and then let's take a look at one of these. So we have the pink with the black circle. We have the black with the pink circle, which this one just screamed. I actually had to go in search of to find this one. This one was so hard to find. I mean, oh my gosh, I spent, I don't even know how long trying to find this one because I was obsessed with this combination of colors. And then of course, because I do have people who are not all about pink like I am, I told Ashlyn, I was like, okay, I've got to find an option for our less pinky people and our gentleman friends and, you know, our painters who don't want hot pink for everything. And so we have the stainless and black, which is just a nice neutral color. So let me open up one of these kits. So the concept is that for people who don't have fat thumbs, you can stick it on your thumb or you can hold it in your hand, okay? So it is a 4 by 6 inch approximately size. It is a very small, manageable, portable size for mixing your paints. And for me, that's perfect because I want something that I can hold and mix and blend and move and be portable, because that is how I work. I don't want something that's taking up a lot of my surface space because we have big canvases and I don't want to be setting it down on my surface, because what if I set it down somewhere I've just worked? You know how I do. I'm a little bit flighty, just a teensy, okay? We ain't gonna sugarcoat this. I know me. So basically you're gonna be using it with your, you know, you can use this little thumb hole if you want. I would probably hold it like this just because that's how, you know, it's gonna be more comfortable for me. But you hold it how you need to. Then you would take your paint and you could use your stir stick and mix and blend how you need to here. Now for me, because we haven't gotten to it yet, but because I have just designed a blending set of paintbrushes, which you're gonna see in a moment, this is where I would be mixing and blending on my palette. But it's portable, I'm moving it, it's not heavy, it's not cumbersome. The beauty of it is it will clean up easily. It just wipes right off because it is stainless steel. That is the reason for these palettes. I wanted something that wasn't a struggle to clean. The paint just wipes right off. So that is why these are at Melanie B's Creative Supplies. These bottles have been on the site for a while, and we have an option of beautiful colors, rainbow colors. And I know I've shown these in videos before, but I wanted to talk about what I use them for because I absolutely love them, and they are just, well, they're gorgeous. And I always use 2. You know me, with everything has got to be with like 2. But I use one for straight flow aid, and I use one with diluted flow aid. I had picked the royal blue version, and I had picked the aqua blue for them to, you know, go together because I'm weird like that. But my grandson was like, I love that pretty aqua blue one. Can I have it? And I said, sure. And so I just picked a fuchsia. You know, I just picked a different one. So that's what happened there. But anyway, so I love these. I can use the dropper and dispense what I need. Just a little special something, something. And they're very affordable. You know, where a pipette, a plastic pipette is 99 cents, I believe. These are only $2.99 a piece, which I thought was super reasonable. And the color options, I think there are 6 color options. So, you know, I'm all about rainbow life. So I just love them. I just loved them. All right, so let me move these aside. So these 2 items have never been mentioned anywhere before. And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. We're gonna talk about these 2 things right here. Okay, so these are the first products ever that will now be available on Melanie B's Creative Supplies website for diamond painting. And it took months and lots of trial and error for me to come up with 2 different products for diamond painting wax. And you're probably wondering, why did I come up with 2? They both are amazing, and I'm going to be doing demonstrations with diamond paintings to show you both of them. I'm going to tell you why there are 2 of them. This one has a scent. This one is unscented, and this one will always have a scent, and this one will always be unscented. And the reason I did that is because I have migraines, and certain scents will affect my migraines. And I know there are people out there that they cannot use scented products. So I was very conscientious of that, and I wanted to be able to offer you products that were unscented and would always remain unscented. So I'm gonna show you what these look like, and like I said, I'm coming back with a video to show you how they both work and give you a little bit more information. For right now, the scent for the Diva Dough, and the reason I call it Diva Dough is because originally when I first started diamond painting videos, I used to say, hello my diamond divas. And I know, there are some men out there who are probably going, excuse me, but I am not a diva. Well, I am, you know, I mean, I am. And so this looked like dough to me. So that is why I called it Diva Dough. Plus I have some containers that eventually these will go into that seem very diva-ish and very sassy. So that is why they are named this way. Plus I am a diva and I am sassy. So this one's called Diva Dough. This one's called Sassy Wax. So this Diva Dough is a coconut scent to start with. And each month I will come out with, I will always have coconut, but I will come out with a scent of the month. This one will always be unscented, like I said. So this one looks like this, and it smells incredible. Now this one looks just like wax, okay? Totally unscented. These are not waxes that you would want to melt like a candle or anything, but they are perfect for diamond painting. So when I come back and demonstrate these, you will see how they work. You will see how to load your diamond drill pen. You will see how long you can use them, etc. So keep those in mind. They will be added to the site. We'll talk about pricing, etc. I'm super excited to have these launched. Now on to the pièce de résistance. It's been a long time since I took French. Took a lot of French, remember none. All right, so my French viewers, y'all just, my Canadian viewers, y'all just ignore me, okay? All right, so these are the things that sell out the minute they get to the website. I spent a lot of time trying brushes over the last 3 years with Paint by Numbers. I've spent lots of money. I've had paintbrushes sent to me that I've tested. I've found a lot I really love, but I never could find the ones that were just the right size, that had just a whole set of brushes that I used, every single one. So I decided one day when I just overly frustrated, it didn't have enough flat brush options and whatnot, that I just needed to come up with a smaller set. So that's what happened when the little mini detail brush set was born. This is the start of it all. And I say start of it all, it's only been a few months, and I sat there and developed this just because necessity, you know, necessity drives us sometimes to do what we need to do. And there were so many people frustrated with brushes and asking for brush help all the time. And I had tried the disposables, and I tried the eyeliner brushes, and I had tried every single brush, and I was tired of spending money. So that's where these came from. Now these are all three different. They're all 5-piece sets, but there are different brushes in each set. And this is the detail brush set, and it has 4 spotter brushes, which are like mini round brushes, and 1 little mini flat brush. And I'm going to show you these specifically in just a minute. We're going to go through the points, what these brushes look like individually. Now these are all mini sets. They're all called mini sets because they're all designed for very small detail areas. But this is the flat brush set. And this is the one, I'm not going to lie to you, that I use the absolute most at this point. This is the mini blending set. I'm going to be doing a demonstration video, tutorial videos on how to use each of these sets. Now the other thing that came out when these launched was a storage tube. Now this is sold out right now, but in the next batch that will be coming, there will be more storage tubes, and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to take my brushes out and I'm going to show you the storage tube so you'll know what's coming and what to expect with this. The way the storage tube was designed, separated basically in half so that when you are working, you can separate your brushes how you want to. So I like to have all of my flat brushes in one side of this tube and my other brushes in the other side. So when I'm reaching, I know all my flat brushes are here, all my other specific brushes are here. But when I'm ready to store them or put them away, now I have a ton of brushes you can see here. They may not all fit in here because this is way more. Oh yay, look. So the tube will actually hold all 3 sets of brushes plus about 3 extra individual brushes, so that when you are ready to go somewhere, you can just put them all in here, take them with you or whatever. If you just like to store them in something pretty sitting on the counter, you've got something to put them in. I will just briefly tell you the way this was designed. I put here what the brush types are so that you know when you're working. Like for example, what is a spotter brush? This little S right here. I'll zoom in a little bit here. So everything that I did kind of with when it came to the design of these brushes had a purpose. Even the tube, there's information here about how to care for your brushes and my method for keeping my brushes pristine. And I use the same set of brushes for years because I do this method. Let's go down here for a minute. So all these little dots and circles are for a purpose. They're not just for graphic purposes, even though, you know, they serve that purpose as well. The S is for spotter brush. So spotter brush, it tells you about what it's for, and it tells you kind of what it is. And like the flat brush, it tells you what a flat shader is, because these are flat shader brushes, and what the difference is between a flat shader and like a flat, you know, a bright brush is different, but what makes it different, when you would use it, how you would use it. So like the flat side is for filling in areas of color, and then a chiseled edge is for creating thin lines. So there's information on the tube that is helpful. So it's not just for looks or for storage. It's got some information that can help you when you go to reach for a brush. Like, what is a chisel blender for again? You know, that kind of thing. All right, so let me show you the bristles really quickly, and then that'll be the end of this video. You know, I will move into some tutorial videos on each of these sets. This is the detail set with the spotter brushes. I will show you these bristles as closely as I can. This is the 2/0 spotter brush. Even though it's got some length to it, it has thickness to the bristles, and it gives you the control that you need. Now, another thing you'll notice as I'm going through these is that the size and the name of the brush type is on the handle, so that when I am working and doing videos and you're watching, you will know what brush I'm using, and then you can work with me. Now, this is the 3/0 spotter, a little denser at the base and a really great point to give you control. You'll also notice that we went with the triangular handle for comfort, and that helps with long-term painting sessions. The 5/0 still gives you a very fine detailed point, but still gives you some of the density at the bottom to give you some control for small areas. Now, this is the favorite from all of the feedback I've gotten as far as the spotter brushes. It is a very tiny 20/0, and it's perfect for the tiniest little cells. Now, I will tell you, this one very soon will be available individually as well as in the 5-piece set for purchase. So this one is one that I pull out all the time. This is the 10/0 flat. I actually have this one available as an individual brush. Once I start showing you the demonstration videos, you will understand why I use this one constantly. I think I have 4 or 5 of these brushes in my stash, and I just reach for one constantly. It actually is a flat brush, but it forms a point the more I work with it. But as I need it, I can make it flat, so it can work as a flat brush, and it makes the perfect little thin lines, and we will go into that more as I am showing you the tutorial. Moving to the flat brush set, the largest flat brush I have is this number 2. This one is incredible for some of the largest cells. Flat brushes are life. I'm just going to tell you, once I finally started using flat brushes, I rarely use anything else except for tiny, tiny detail areas when I will use the spotter brushes. But for the most part, in everyday painting, I'm pulling the flat brush set every time. This is the 2. It is incredible. This entire set is fabulous. And I know I designed them, but I'm telling you, I'm in love, and that set is almost sold out. We had 250 sets of each of these come in, and they've only been in for less than 2 weeks, and they're almost sold out. So this is the size 1. You can tell I have been lovingly using mine, but this is a perfect size. So you will notice as I am pointing out each of these brushes, the flat shader brush is different than a normal flat brush because it is not as long. It is perfect for giving you control. It doesn't have that length to it, so you have more control when you are filling in cells. We hold our brushes up close like a pencil to maintain control. That's why we don't need super long flat brushes or spotter brushes. And so that's why these flat brushes were designed specifically for paint by number enthusiasts. These brushes are also perfect for model enthusiasts. So if you have people who do models in your life, think of these brushes for Christmas. They are white handled, so they are fine for every single person. All right, so you can see the size 0 is an amazing, versatile size. I use this one all the time. I mean, all of these I use all the time, but I'm gonna tell you, between the flat brush set, the ones that I pull 99% of the time are the 2/0, the 0, and the 1. You can see this poor little brush right here. It makes my eye twitch. I've got paint all over the handle because I didn't notice it and I'll let it dry, but it should clean right off. All right, this is the 2/0. It is beautifully shaped and pointed. This one is a perfect size for some of the smaller areas, and again, flat brushes are life. I'm just gonna tell you. You'll see that when I start doing tutorials. This is a tiny, tiny little 5/0. Now the difference between, I'm gonna pull this one out, the 10/0 in the mini detail brush and the 5/0 is that the 5/0 has more length to it. Even though it is thinner, it has a longer bristle. And the 10/0 is shorter and more blunt. So you will notice that technically the 10/0 could go in the flat brush set, but I introduced the detail first. This is a detail brush, so that is why it is in this set, but it is also available individually. But this little brush is fabulous for small flat brush areas. Now let's talk about the blending set, and I know this video is extensively long, but there's so much information. I designed the blending set because blending is a tricky thing for all of us. We have options available on the market for blending brushes that are for larger areas, but nothing for small detail blending. And so that is why these were created. So I'm going to pull these two right here because these are both little chisel blenders. Now you guys know there are chisel blenders on the market that are fabulous, but these are tiny ones. Now you'll see this little tiny chisel blender is actually in a point right now, and it's because of the way when I conditioned it before I let it dry, it just stayed that way. This is what a chisel blender looks like normally. That way, this one's dried as well, but they're like little squared off bristles typically, and that helps us to double load and do the one stroke method in a tiny area. This one, once it's wet, will go back into a little bit of a chiseled shape, more like this. And I have also designed a new 2/0 chisel blender brush that will be available individually that will be even a little smaller than this one, but a different shape. So these three will work beautifully together. That one will probably be available before Christmas. It will come out in the next batch. Be prepared for that one. Now these two little mini angle brushes were designed for the zigzag blending method. So for those of you who've seen the skin blending, I used both the one stroke method and the zigzag method. And these brushes were designed to use for both of those techniques. So that's why I put them all in one little set, because I wanted you to be able to use one set for all different blending methods. Angle brushes are not just for blending. I mean, there are a ton of people who love using angle brushes for paint by numbers and just general use. So don't get them and believe you have to only use them for blending. There are tons of people who use them for everyday painting. So finally, in the blending brush set, we have this little mini mop brush. Starts out very fluffy. I'll show you a new one. This one is new. I've never used this one. And this is mine that I've used quite a lot. You'll see this one used quite a bit in the tutorial video. But this is perfect for using when you are doing landscape blending, sky blending. I'm going to be using it for doing some skin blending, believe it or not, which is a very simple technique. And you guys who are really stressing out about doing custom paintings and not getting that blending that you're really trying to achieve, I have a technique that I've been doing that has been super easy, fast. I did blending on some of this custom painting I've been working on in literally 5 minutes. And I just was like, you know what? I don't have a lot of time to finish this painting. I'm gonna try this new brush that I got, and I did it, and I was like, loved it. So we're gonna be working with this one. This is a 1/8 of an inch mini mop brush, and I will show you how to use it in that tutorial. So you all, I know that I just threw a ton of information at you, and I hope that this has been a very informative video. I hope you guys see that there are lots of changes at Melanie B's Creative Supplies, and Ashlyn is adding new products all the time, so continue to keep your eye on the website. I will include information about the products that I've mentioned in the description below so that you can just click and go find these items. And I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to join me on Facebook. I always introduce new products there first because sometimes there are limited quantities. And then the Patreon group is always going to get prior knowledge before everybody. So join me there. And you guys, thanks as always for watching, and I will see you back soon.